So it's don't write fluff, write what sells. Cookies don't convert, clarity does. So if you want results, start with why. Learn what makes your people buy.
All right, welcome everybody to the second episode of the Superposition Game Show, the only game show on the internet where we bring nerds of all kinds together to have fun and play ridiculous games together with me. My name is David Cohen. I am the host of the game show and the founder of Superposition, a consulting firm where we help other consulting firms be better at their jobs through collaborative workshops just like the one that we're doing today. And thank you guys for joining us today. I'm really excited to have you three here.
Thanks, David. Good to be here.
Yep, we're excited. Thank you.
Yeah, so what I'd like to do to start with is to get brief introductions from you guys. What we do usually is would like to obviously learn about what you do and the things that you're passionate about. But a fun thing that we do at the Superposition Game Show is would also like to know what your secret talent is. So each of you have already put down what they are, but would like to get a better sense directly from you what it is. So Stacy, we'll start with you.
All right. Well, start off with the secret talent or the introduction or both?
Introduction first.
Okay. So I'm a copywriter and a messaging strategist, and I help impact-driven brands move their reach beyond referrals with bold messaging. And, like my superpower says, usually while eating cookies. And so I am obsessed, like you said, nerding out on buyer psychology. The other obsession I have is cookies. And literally, like, just by the smell, I'm not kidding, I always know when a cookie's done. So that's my superpower.
I feel like this is a really important superpower in life to have. Like, nothing's better than a great cookie, so.
I agree.
And you don't want it overdone, so that's huge if you know the exact time to pull it out.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely saved me from some under and overbaked cookies for sure.
So how do you know? What's the secret? I guess if you don't mind revealing it to the internet.
I think it's just like a sixth sense. I don't know.
Unteachable.
It is. I'm sorry, guys.
You just know when you know.
Yeah, some things it's just like, when you see your wedding dress, you just know. When you just smell it, you know the cookie's done.
That's amazing. Jack, what about you?
Yeah, my name's Jay Malone. I am an offer architect. So what that means is I help consultants and agency owners turn their hard-to-sell services into offers that their clients actually want to buy. And I have a strange habit of hearing things in the moment, and instead of having a rational thought, I think about some quote from Will Ferrell in one of his dozens of movies. Huge fan of him.
So what is your favorite Will Ferrell movie? So if you guess mine, you'll get 100 points to start the game with.
Anchorman's definitely up there.
Okay. What do you think my favorite Will Ferrell movie is? Take a guess.
We'll have to go with Step Brothers.
Close. I would say my second favorite. My favorite is actually Talladega Nights, but I'll give you like 50 points to start with.
Take it, mate.
That's the only way to live.
Beautiful.
What about you, Brian?
Yeah, I'm Brian Andreyko. Probably easiest explanation is I help people just get started. That's kind of my mantra for a lot of years as a navigator, and really help people find their compass, guiding them forward. So whether that's with a podcast I do, or sales coaching, or a variety of other stuff, writing books, etc. It's something I'm super passionate about, and kind of driving me forward with all the different things that I do each and every day. What's that?
Oh, no, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. Yeah, so the secret talent thing is hard, by the way. I don't know about Jay and Stacy. Like, I kind of ruminated on this. Like, but, one of the things that I always find, if you looked at, like, my notes app, there's probably thousands and thousands of like little things in there. Like, I have to, if I'm like walking, if I'm driving or something, I have to write something down quick. So like things hit me, like a lot of LinkedIn posts. It's not like something I contrived over weeks. Like it's literally in the moment, kind of a train of thought kind of thing. So that's kind of, I say that my freestyle journaling is like, there's no structure to it a lot. A lot of times it's just throw a note down and, kind of look at it weeks later, like, God, what was I thinking about when this came up? That's my talent.
Yeah, I feel like all of us being in the B2B space in some capacity, like we're all sort of doing this in some way too, like just freestyle journaling, and it's so common for all of us to just have like a notebook of some sort where we just keep a random idea set. It's really cool how that works. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started with the activities then. Are you guys ready?
Let's do it.
I'm as ready as I can.
So the first activity is called Draw Your Career. So if you guys have ever played Pictionary, you'll know essentially what the concept of this game is. So what I'd like to do is set a timer in a second and then have you guys tell us the story of what you've done over the course of your career. So that can be from beginning to end or just what you do now. That's really up to you. But the catch here is that you only get to draw it. The extra twist on it that I didn't tell you, or I told you 5 minutes ago, but I'll tell you again so that it, pretend to be surprised, is that you only get to draw with your non-dominant hand. So we'll set a timer for 3 minutes here in a second. And then again, you only get to draw, so no using words. The competition here will be to see obviously who can draw the best or least bad, given that you're all drawing with your non-dominant hand, but also to see who can tell their story most clearly based on just using pictures. Right? Again, as I mentioned earlier, the scoring here is sort of subjected to me, so if you want to go funny, if you want to mess with other people's answers, that's all fine. There are no rules here in the Superposition Game Show, really. You can do whatever you want. So it's all about having fun and kind of seeing where it goes. Does that make sense?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Okay, so you each have a square. So please draw or start drawing primarily in your square, and then we'll go from there. So I'll set a timer for 3 minutes and let you guys
one
draw.
drawing. That's it. Like whatever we can fit in the square.
Yeah.
I can't use like Jay's square or anything.
You can. You actually can do whatever you want. So if you want to bleed over into Jay's square, draw by me. You guys can fight for the square space. All right, we ready?
I'm ready.
All right, and go.
I'd be more excited what Stacy and Jay draw here.
I can't do this with my dominant hand, Brian, so I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, this is gonna be. We'll see how this is on the iPad. We're gonna talk through this as we're doing it.
And you'll have to tell me how it works on the iPad.
Oh my gosh. Wait, can you guys see mine? I can't see yours. Are we supposed to be able to see each other?
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
I can see
okay.
yours.
I just thought they're popping up. Oh my god. It looks like I'm doing a split. That is not what's happening there.
I'm zooming in so we can see it. This is amazing.
That's word for it.
Jay, did you have yours pre-ready? How did you do all that in 3 seconds?
Because it's that little squiggle is something that I built a business around, and it very much defines my career and pretty much every idea that people have when they get started.
I love it. I can't wait to hear more in a second.
Oh my god, I might just have to go to sabotaging you guys because mine looks like a baby drew it.
Oh my god, yeah. I can dribble a basketball left-handed, but I guess I still can't draw one.
In the meantime, I guess I'll just give you a hat, Stacy.
Hey, you can use the rest of your time to do whatever else you want, Jay.
I already gave you a handlebar mustache.
I appreciate you.
I feel now that I'm seeing this, I feel like all the contestants should have little hats just because the guy on the bottom left with my face on it has a hat, so.
All right. Jay, these are supposed to be devil horns. I'm not really sure that you can tell what they are. It looks more like you have rabbit ears.
I like the rabbit ears.
You guys have about 45 seconds here to finish your answers, so go ahead and get any final ones in that you want to, any final doodles in.
Can you give us negative points? Because I think I'm in trouble.
Oh yeah, you can definitely have negative points. We haven't had anybody have negative points yet, but it is possible.
I like to be lead the path, be a trailblazer here, so.
Oh, man, the bake shows, you have like 10 seconds left to pull it out of the oven.
Oh my gosh.
And they somehow magically pull the best thing you've ever seen out of the oven.
Exactly.
What's
Insane.
trying?
All right. That's what you're gonna get from me.
All right, so that's your time, and Jay, finish your awesome drawings here.
I was going to draw a Cookie Monster, but I ran out of time.
All right. Well, we'll get back to that one. So, Stacy, let's start with you. What did you draw here?
Yeah. Well, what I tried to draw, this first of all is supposed to be me scrolling on Facebook and seeing an ad for a copywriting course. I'm not sure why it looks like I've fallen over there. And that is what launched my career. I originally was just going to learn what copywriting was. I was going to find a job. Started off just practicing some website copywriting, and then all of a sudden realized, like, oh, I've launched a business here. Love doing the website copywriting, but then this is supposed to be a light bulb here, showing that like my light bulb moment was really what got me into positioning and messaging and helping, understanding what my clients really need in order to be able to convert. And then that has led me up until like through today. I still do all that one-to-one messaging work, but today actually launched a new offer, which is helping people create content. And all of this is just based for LinkedIn. And all of this is based around just really deeply knowing and understanding their buyers. So my drawing's pretty spot on, right?
Yeah, no, I feel like the light bulb thing really, I think it really hit the mark in that you're sort of helping others hit their own light bulb or like have that own light bulb moment, right?
Yes.
Is the CC in the bottom right Creative Commons in case we want to steal your drawing and reuse it?
It was for Content Circle, which is the membership that we launched today. But I like your version better.
Okay, because I was thinking
By the
about
way, kudos to Stacy for like gently slipping in the Content Circle and the.
That was really smooth product placement right there. I really appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right, I feel like that's we'll go with. I think Jay, you put down 100 points for Stacy here. That seems
no,
right.
I think that was Bri.
No, that was me.
No, I would not have done that.
I figured nobody else was going to give me points, so
I think 100 points seems fair.
Accurately and fairly across the board.
All right, so let's go to the next one. So Jay, what about you? So you mentioned you had this drawing sort of pre-made, so really excited to hear about it.
Yeah, the first business I ran was a company called New Haircut, and we did product strategy for groups, and we used that squiggle to describe how innovation goes. Basically, like big hot mess for the first weeks, months, or years, where you're just kind of spinning around and nobody knows what problem they're actually solving. And then eventually you start working at it, you get clear on the problem, and eventually things kind of like smooth out because you actually found a good problem to solve. And that more or less describes 15 years of entrepreneurship, of kind of circling about and running a business just to run a business. Was the wrong business, but I was just chasing after it. And then I started Profit Ladder 2 years ago, where I actually understood the problem that I'm best qualified to solve and helping people develop offers. And now things are a lot smoother than they used to be. I love the work.
Yeah, I feel like looking at this graph, I feel like it speaks to me coming from the consulting world. It like describes every consulting project in like visual form.
Yep. Yeah, the squiggle.
And I know that you come from that background as well, right? So I think we both worked at Accenture previously.
We did 6 years, 8 months, which is 2 months longer than when I got the job. I was dating a girl, and her dad was a VP at Baxter Pharmaceutical, and he said, I give you 2 months. So I went another 6 years, 6 months, mostly just to prove him wrong. But it was.
Oh, I feel like the classic thing is somebody going into consulting and saying they're going to do it for like, a couple of years and then staying for forever. So I can relate.
Yeah, it was a mild form of torture, but
there you go.
Anyway, here I am.
Love it. Now, Brian, let's talk about yours.
Oh man, yeah. That does not look as good as it did.
Keep zooming in. It gets better.
Let's see. All right. Where do you want to start?
I mean, I kind of just where this came around is just my thought and I guess learning over a lot of years that, it's not picking a destination. I feel that the journey is the destination. Shameless plug. It's actually the working title of a book I'm writing this year. But I feel that, every ounce of the things we do, it's a mini decision here. It's, something that big happened over there that makes our story. And so I could not picture being here on the call with y'all today, 10, 15, 20 years ago. Like I was in such a different spot in my life. If you asked me 15, 20 years ago, I was going to be one of the top golf instructors in the world. That was kind of I was dead set on that. I had a teaching business. I was a PGA professional. I used to teach golf. That was my first career. To be doing what I'm doing today would never have never have thought about that. But it's all about just continue to make, decisions each day, show up for yourself, and, follow your compass, as I call it. And that's why you kind of see a compass up there, but like the North Star, it's kind of this whole, again, philosophy around just get started. I'm a big believer that it's not a big, massive decision that changes your life. It's small micro decisions each and every day that ultimately add up. So the people that you see, the three of y'all, other people that, people follow and watch of like, hey, they've been successful or they're working towards something. They make small micro decisions each day. As James Clear says, that kind of gives them that vote of who they want to become. That's kind of how I show up each day for myself.
Yeah, and I really appreciate and have appreciated the concept of just getting started for a long time. But when I saw it on your profile and like even on your email signature, it really got to me because that is a big barrier for entrepreneurship for many people. It's just kind of taking that step. And so I think that's it's really exciting that you're like bringing that to folks to get them to, again, to be redundant, just to get started.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And by the way, and this is maybe helpful for everyone, is the just is intentional. I could say get started, but just is kind of like you have to take that action. You have to take that step forward. And that's how you really do anything. So I think that's hopefully, helpful advice for anyone.
Yeah, and I'll say that it very much speaks to the story of how this game show came together, is that it was an idea that I had for a long time. And I think just getting started has been what has gotten it more momentum, is that like, just having you guys on here being part of the show is what makes it real. So it makes a lot of sense to kind of work off of that. So I think you're going to get more points here, Brian. You're going to get 250 points.
Oh, 2,500 is fine. 2,500 is fine.
Whoa.
Oh, you want, okay, 2,500 it is. And then Jay, I forgot to give you points, so you get a few more points here as well. We'll do 250. So you guys are slightly behind Brian. I'm sorry.
No, I appreciate that, Dave. Thank you. And kudos to you, by the way, for what is this, episode like 2 of this? Like you just started this, right?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, congrats, man. I mean, a lot of people, they have the idea and they never go forward with it. So kudos for you. And this is pretty cool. This is definitely a different experience for me.
Yeah, I think it's exciting because we get to like obviously have fun doing what I do professionally, but it's a different way of kind of experiencing the things that I really enjoy and I'm passionate about as well.
Yeah. Can I add? I don't know if this is. Can we take an intermission? Why is the superposition? When I think of that, I think of dark matter. I like to watch read the book or anything, but like, is that part of it? I'm not sure.
So the name of superposition really is a joke and a play on words on sort of a reality that I used to live at when in my consulting days, is that in consulting, especially in the data space, there's a sort of like double purpose that you serve as an expert in that field. There's like the expertise side of being technically savvy at doing data and AI work. And then there's also a communication piece in what you do. And those two worlds are something that you're always navigating simultaneously. So when I was in a previous role, one of my coworkers and I used to always joke that we were sort of Schrodinger's consultants, and that like navigating those two worlds as an analytics team, as a data team, was a really difficult kind of transition and thing to understand as a part of a larger organization. And that's where the name came from, actually.
Oh, okay, cool. Awesome.
Okay, so who do we think won this one? I'm just curious. Who do you think had the best drawing here? I'll give you some extra points to, you guys decide yourselves.
Apparently, Brian won.
Well, maybe I don't know about the drawing. If we're going technical on this, I mean, Jay, obviously you decided to use the colors. I don't even know where I would have picked the colors. So that's you get bonus points from me for using color.
Yeah, we'll make it fair again. So we'll take back the 0. Sorry, Brian.
That's fine. That's all right. Keep it close. Keep everyone. We want to keep everyone here until the end. So.
Well, the fun thing is that I can give you guys as many points as I want for any activity, so everybody's really in it always.
Yeah.
Okay, we're ready to move on to the next activity.
Mm-hmm.
Our next game is called Truth, Lies, and Statistics. So you've also heard this game concept before. So it's a play on the truths and a lie sort of idea. So you'll notice that there's 3 stickies on each of your boxes. What we're going to do here is I would like you to put 3 facts down, or three things down on each of the stickies, so 1 each. And I want two of them to be true things about your background. So they can be either personal things or professional things, something that tells the story of who you are and what you do. And I also want you to put a lie down. So something that, either is untrue but believable, but you think the others would guess about you. What we'll do is, after you have the opportunity to put those down, I'm going to have the other participants try to guess which ones are true and which ones are not. Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Okay, so I'll set a quick timer here. I'll give you guys just 2 minutes, and then you can go ahead and input your items on the boxes.
Will people see them when I hit it? Or no?
Yeah, just input. You can just input what it is. Don't write down whether it's true or false. Just, just write it down as a fact, and then we'll discuss whether they're true or not in a second.
Oh, I got you.
Okay, ready? Yeah, you're ready.
I'm starting.
I guess I got a type on here. Let me see.
Yes. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we got it.
Jay, thanks to your offers class, because that's the only reason I know how to use this thing.
There you go. Love it.
Jay, I think there's a 200 character limit.
What the hell?
iPad's being so I guess you gotta.
Thank you.
The keyboard won't show up. Let's see.
Just double click into the sticky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta double click. And if you have trouble with it, we can put it in for you. We can go through it. You have about 40 seconds, so go ahead and finish any other items you have on there.
All right. It's a randomness. Let's see what you guys did.
Give about 5 seconds. All right, so I'll go ahead and finish up any final answers here before we start. Okay, so the way this will work is similar to the first activity. We'll go one by one, and I'll ask you to explain your answers. But you'll notice at the top of the box, I put down 4 boxes with our names on them. So what I'd like you to do is, for each of these, drag basically your name to whatever you want to vote for as far as the lie of these 3. So after Stacy explains hers, I'll ask each of you or Jay and Brian, to tell me which one you think is a lie by just putting a sticky with your name on it. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
The tricky part here is that I also get to vote. So if we all pick collectively together, you'll get more points. But if I pick correctly and you don't, then you'll lose points. Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Those are some high stakes.
Yeah. So Stacy, let's start with you. Tell us about your 3 facts here, and let's decide which one's not correct.
Okay. Do you want me to just read them?
Yeah, please.
Okay. So I'm terrified of heights, but jumped out of a plane on purpose anyway. I bake cookies from scratch every weekend. I help clients shorten their sales cycles before we've even finished their messaging projects.
Okay. So Jay and Brian, go ahead and take a sticky with your name on it, and then put it wherever you think it's a lie.
This is Stacy knows how to write, because I like how you've labeled some of these, the way you've written these. I'm gonna go. How do I do that? Oh, there we go.
Just drag it down.
I'm gonna go right here, Stacy.
Oh, you guys are all moving.
I feel like the tricky part of this one, it's the every weekend part. It's like you probably don't bake cookies every weekend. So Stacy, which one is the correct or the wrong one here?
Well, damn it, you guys are right. And I was going to leave off the every weekend originally. Like, I bake cookies from scratch, never. I eat cookies. I love cookies. I help my son bake cookies at the holidays, but I don't bake. I just eat them.
There you go. So I think that's worth quite a few points for both Jay and Brian since we all guessed correctly. So we'll do 500 points for each. And then, unfortunately, Stacy, that means that I have to take away some points because we all guessed correctly what your lie was.
Oh, man.
So I think you take
Am I
away
having
500,
this
right?
go
Is
to
that
the
how that
negatives,
works?
aren't I?
Yeah, we'll take away 500 points from Stacy. So you wanted to have negative points.
Ooh.
There you go.
Big hit.
Ouch.
It's
And
okay.
it was that every weekend that did it, huh?
Remember, you
Yeah.
cannot get to Final Jeopardy in a negative score, Stacy. So keep that in mind.
All right. So Jay, your turn. So let's talk about your three.
Okay. I became a business owner after being fired 2 jobs in a row. As a business owner, I like selling the most out of all the jobs that I do. And the third one is I started my second business profit ladder to solve a 12-year problem I faced in my first business.
This one's tough. Here, let me copy down the stickies. So
Oh, thank you.
guys can. All right. So Brian and Stacy, go ahead and grab your sticky. And
I'm guessing this. I know that's the answer, but
No, too. Pretty sure.
I'm pretty confident. But maybe
I
he'll.
feel like I have to guess something different so that, like, if you guys are wrong, then you all lose points.
I cannot afford to lose any more points, David.
There you go. So Jay, which one's the incorrect one here?
Yeah, Stacy and Brian knew me too well already.
All right. So you enjoy selling the least.
I wouldn't say the least. I was definitely at the bottom of the list until recently, and thanks to the work I do and getting help from people like Brian as well.
Like, so what is it? What is it about selling that you, or I guess that you dislike?
Well, number one, it's a skill that I never actually practiced, so I didn't know how to do it, and I also didn't have really good offers that I could get behind and believe in, and so it felt like I was kind of used car salesman pushing my wares on people that I didn't really believe in.
Yeah, I think that's something I can relate to as well. Like coming from a similar background, is that you mentioned selling something that I didn't believe in. Like until I built my own thing and kind of built the trust in what I was selling, it really became real for me and how I was selling it too.
Right.
So and Brian, that's probably something you teach folks that you work with as well, would be my guess.
Yeah, confidence is a big thing. I mean, you got to believe in not only what you sell, but that you could help the person that you're selling it to or the business that you're selling to, that they can achieve the results they want. So there's a huge mindset part of it.
For sure.
Awesome. So I think Stacy, that brings you back. We'll put you back at 0 so that you're not negative anymore, which means that Brian's at 1150 for that. And Jay, you at least fooled me, so I'll give you 250 points here, so you're at 1,000. How does that sound?
Okay. And where you're at negative 500, that means.
Me? I mean, I guess, yeah. I'm at a negative infinity for just hosting the show.
Okay. All right, fair enough.
Brian, what about you?
All right, I kind of went off all over the board here. So I have swam with dolphins, published 4 children's books, took a trip to Japan last year.
All right, how do I grab my thing? I'm stuck here because I kind of want to look. Brian, yours are tricky because you just changed yours slightly, right? You didn't tell just straight up lies.
I'm with you on that.
I don't want to really give away any information.
I know. Look, I'm going to tell you, I think it's either that you took a trip to Japan a different time other than last year, and I'm thinking you published 3 children's books. That's my guess, but
I know about 1, maybe 2. I don't think he's published 4.
I don't either. I almost tried to sneakily Google it while we were talking before, but yeah, I'm going to go.
Are we allowed to do that?
There's no
You're allowed
rules.
to do whatever you want.
This is the internet.
Yeah, there are no rules.
I'm gonna say, yeah, you probably didn't go to Japan last year. You probably have been like several years ago. So which one is the lie here?
Stacy was correct. Jay on board as well. I've published 3 children's books.
Yes.
Not 4. I've published 4 books, but 3 of them were only children's books. I did go to Japan last year. I would recommend it to anyone. It was the most unbelievable time ever.
So David,
So any favorites for the Japan trip, I guess? Any recommendations?
I mean, I think get out of the big cities. One of the interesting things is all the cities are so clean. I've never been to a place where there's no dirt on the ground. It's unbelievable. Like they keep it immaculate. I love Kyoto was fun. There was like a monkey. You go up like in the hills and there's like 120 monkeys that are literally walking around you. You can go inside and feed them. It was the one of the coolest things ever. So I'd encourage them to do that.
There's actually a picture of Brian in
So I'm also curious. What were the three children's books that you wrote?
Yeah, the three ones, Luke's first round of golf, which is about a father and son and, kind of, the son getting out to play golf for the first time. So it's about that relationship. The second one is the magically magnificent, mysterious mind. It's all about a positive mindset. And the third one is called My Best Friend Fred. And it's about, I really wrote it about my older brother. So it's about a kind of a sibling bond, but it's really just about the kind of relationships and, having people in your life to guide you. So both of them are pretty cool. Yeah, all three of them are pretty cool.
And I'm curious how you got into children's books specifically. I feel like that's like a very sort of narrow type of or genre book that's like not for everybody, and it's really interesting and cool.
Yeah, there were the thing is that maybe most people don't believe it's like I'd never thought about writing a children's. It just popped in, like the first one popped in my head, and I started writing it in 2012. But the whole point of like just get started, it took me almost 7 years to actually prepare to publish it. And I didn't publish it for 9 years after writing that first children's book because I was so scared of like, I'm not a children's book author. But it's really a mix because I loved 90s rap music and early 2000s rap music growing up. And I loved reading like Dr. Seuss books. And it was kind of like the rhyming. They're all rhyming books. So it just kind of came to me. I don't know. And what's funny is like they all were random. The second one, I probably wrote it in like a month. The third one, no shit. Like I wrote it literally in one night. I woke up, I couldn't sleep at night. I just had this one line and I wrote basically the whole thing of the third one. So it's just weird how that stuff works. As Stephen Pressfield talks about like how the muse talks to you and you kind of have to listen. So anyways, all random, but yeah, they've been fun projects.
That's amazing. No, that's really cool to hear. And I think that's a like very interesting sort of perspective and like sort of journey to take into writing. I feel like most folks, as you said, kind of get stuck in that cycle that you were mentioning earlier. So that's really cool to hear.
Jay, I like that actual footage of Brian you got in Japan.
Yeah. I sent a drone there while he was there and caught a couple pictures of him.
So
Yeah,
I think,
really
Stacy and
impressive.
Jay, you both got it correct again. So I think Stacy, that brings you back to more than 0 points. So let's put you at like 500 points. And Jay, I don't want you to run away with it. So we'll do like, 1250 to keep it more even.
Okay.
And then Brian gets a little more points too, because he also got several or got me to guess wrong. So to do a little tiebreaker here at the end before we move on to the final activity, what I want to do is have you guys guess 3 facts about me also. So I'll put 3 things down on the board at the bottom here.
Okay.
And what I want you to guess is which one is incorrect. And if each of you that gets it right will get more points. How does that sound?
All right.
Currently Googling David Cohen.
Yeah, you're just like fiercely Googling things about my life. All right. So let's take a guess here. So my 3 facts are that I was once a professional photographer. I also competed in a skateboarding show. And the third one is that I used to religiously follow professional sumo leagues in Japan. So try to guess, each of you guess which one is not correct.
I'm going where Jay's going.
So I'm going to do it too. That way we're all going down, or we're all.
Well, you don't all guess the same thing. Try to
All right, I'll go.
That was my first instinct was you seem like someone like you're curious to try things. So I think maybe do the skateboarding thing once. And I don't know, you got the sumo vibe to you. Maybe you like, sumo, who knows?
You got the frame for it,
Yeah. So the actually Stacy is the one that is correct.
Oh.
So I was a professional photographer in a former life. So prior to starting in consulting, that's actually what I did. So I was a professional, just general portrait photographer, and I also did photojournalism in school. That's actually what I worked in college. I did skateboard, but I did not compete. So I just did it for fun. So Stacy, you are correct. And as a kid, I lived in Japan as well. So Brian, I've been there and really enjoyed it there as well. But I also used to very religiously follow the professional sumo league there and follow their stats. So, you know, some fun David facts there.
Yeah, that's cool. Where did you live in Japan?
I lived in Yokohama for many years, but I've been, or for many years, for 1 year. But I also have been all over Japan as well. Like, we traveled all over.
Cool. Yeah.
So I feel like now I have to put Stacy back in the lead because she got the one about me
Nice
that
job,
nobody else
Stace.
got.
I think it should be a
And
lot of
she
fun.
switched. She was like gonna go with the crowd, and she was brave enough to go off on her own. She's definitely winning.
There you go. All right, so let's do the final activity here. So the name of the final game is called To Be or Not to B2B, which I did practice before saying that, so I, would not get it wrong in the middle of the show. So the joke here is that I want you guys to think about one piece of advice that you would give to somebody that works with you, a client or a person that you're working with in general, and summarize it in the form of a short poem. So what it is think of like a 20 to 25 word, 3 to 4 line poem that would summarize the biggest piece of advice that you could give somebody that you work with. What I want you to do is to make sure that it rhymes, obviously, like a poem would. So Brian, I expect you to be really good at this, given what we just talked about in the story about the children's books and just generally like writing as a whole.
Superpower. This is literally a superpower.
There you go. So does the activity
Like
make sense?
Eminem, I can't just like on a whim like freestyle rap though. I don't know.
So I'll give you guys 3 minutes to think about it here.
Okay. It's 3 to think about it, and then we're writing. We have 3 minutes to write it, or are we writing it right now?
How about I'll just give you 1:30 to think about it first.
Okay.
And what I'll do is, in the yellow sticky that you see next to your box, I'm going to write down a word. And if you put down the word that I write down into your poem, I will give you extra points.
Does like every line have to rhyme, David?
What's that?
Does every line have to rhyme, or can I be creative here?
It's up to you. Maybe I'll give you more points if you rhyme every line, so we'll see.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll set a second timer now. So I'll give you 3 minutes to kind of think through it and actually write it down. As a reminder, if you use the word on the right side, I will also give you more points.
I'm already reading that to her, Stacy. This is exactly what I was expecting.
I'm glad I didn't disappoint. You threw me with the cookies there at first. I should have expected it.
This worked out. All right. I like this. Hey, I'm gonna have to post this on LinkedIn today.
Yeah, like had to come up with a poem on the fly.
I should have sent in my photo of me eating a cookie that I put at the end of every email.
You want to put it on the board?
Okay, how do I do that?
So if you have it on your computer, you can just copy it. You can just drag it in.
Let's do it. Okay, let me find it.
I think some of you are still working on it, so I'll give you an extra minute.
Okay, I'm not talented enough to grab it and drag it in here, apparently.
I guess if you want to email it to me, Stacy, I can put it on the board.
All right, it is sent.
All right.
Okay. I think, Jay, you're finishing up yours. Give Jay a few more seconds here to finish up his, and then we'll get started. All right, Stacey, let's start with your poem. So tell us, please read it to us, and then explain what you meant by it.
Okay, let's do it. And you specifically said we don't have to follow the rules. So I'm hoping maybe because I provided my own options here that gets me some brownie points.
Okay.
All right. So it's don't write fluff, write what sells. Cookies don't convert, clarity does. So if you want results, start with why. Learn what makes your people buy.
I absolutely love this, Stacy. That is phenomenal. I'm seriously, that is phenomenal.
I appreciate the rhyming structure under pressure. That's really incredible.
Really good.
Yeah, it was a lot of pressure to rhyme. Like I couldn't even think of basic words that rhymed.
Same.
So I think that's pretty self-explanatory and really, really obvious. But what did you want to what kind of message did you want to give to the people that you work with through that?
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing I think that you can do is really, really get to know your target audience so that you can connect with them on a deep level and understand what triggers their decision makings and how you can write in a way that's going to connect and resonate with them.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think it's a very valuable lesson for essentially anybody, really, especially people that are just breaking into owning their own business. I mean, it's a pretty standard and sort of foundational lesson of, selling and kind of going out on your own.
Yeah, and it's hard to do. We tend to do it at a surface level, but it's really about just talking to them and getting to know and understand them. And that's usually like the big shift for clients.
So how do you typically sort of move people to push for that clarity and understanding that like their customers in a really deep way?
Yeah, I mean, so for me, when I do my one-on-one work with clients, I always gather as many customer insights as I can and ideally do client interviews because I get so much information. I'm a huge fan of the jobs to be done theory, which really helps you figure out what motivates people beyond what they think even motivates them to buy. And other than that, when I'm working with people on this and they're trying to do it on their own, just talk to the people in your target audience. We don't have enough conversations, I don't think, with people and really listen and really pay attention to what they're saying. What questions are they asking? What language do they use? Because the way we talk about their problems is not how they talk about their problems. And the closer we can get to mirroring how they think and how they talk about the thing that's keeping them up, the more we can connect and they can understand when we have the solution to the problem that is keeping them up at night.
Okay, so Jay, let's go with yours.
Okay. No, the easy part is that Stacy and I have the same brain when it comes to business building. We just attack different parts of the problem. She attacks messaging, and I attack the sort of like the offer that needs the great messaging once it's been formed. So my poem is: your offer should not be a movie, drawn out plot twists that make your prospect feel goofy. When it comes to great offers your clients will buy, being clear and compelling is what prospects will be willing to try.
So what's the deeper message there? I think it's, again, pretty clear, but would love to get it from your perspective too.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that hits us square in the face is we have all this expertise about the work that we do, and that's really helpful when it comes to actually doing the work. But when it comes to explaining it and to communicating the value, it trips us up. We overcomplicate things. Then we start to get frenetic, and we bolt on more services and more stuff and more features, and we get further and further away from the core problem that our customer has. And at the end of the day, the simplest offer that solves the right problem at the right time for your prospect is the one that they're actually looking for. And then you double it down by hiring Stacy and turning that offer into something that people can clearly understand with great messaging.
Yeah, I feel
You
like,
should get bonus points for that, David.
yeah, I mean,
I take some of Stacy's winning points there, and they get reallocated to me.
Well, and then I think the thing is, after that, right, once they have that messaging and they want to hop on a call with you, we need to make sure we're using Brian's skills to understand how do we sell to them on that call.
Well, that's kind of y'all to include me. I thought you guys were doing your own little thing there.
Who? Oh, Brian. Right.
I'm still here.
So speaking of Brian, let's go through yours. So I feel like you had a long time to like figure out the rap structure here. So I would make you rap this, but I'm not going to make you do that.
Well, and I use, it's so weird. If you look at the 3 children's book, they all have like a similar rhyming structure. I just think like that's just how I rhyme. So it's like always the same. It's like the AABB kind of rhyme. The way to discover happiness is to learn what you want to do. The simple trick to discovering it is that the answer lives inside you. Remove all the distractions, and you'll need a pen and paper for this part. And just being brutally honest with what you want is the best place I know to start.
Nice.
I feel like all of your answers are so deep. I feel so much more smarter and much more insightful after reading these.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that. I try to mix in, I guess, a little the figure the word start. Like that's kind of part of my whole thing. That I believe we're always starting, but this is really just I think with anything, the only way we discover happiness is by really uncovering who we are, and everyone goes through this at various points, but it's really sitting and discovering what we really want, not what the outside world wants, not what our parents wanted us when we grew up, not what we may have been great at a sport that we don't even play anymore. Like, what do we really want? And then starting to move in that direction. And by the way, it changes. What we want today is different in a year from now, but we slowly move along that path, like I mentioned earlier, in these small decisions. But I think if we never sit, most people I talk with, because I was like this 10 years ago, you never actually even put the phone down for 30 minutes with no distractions and even just sit and think. And I think that's most people can start there and live a happier life just literally by doing that for 30 minutes, because it'll open a lot of new, a lot of new doors that they never even considered walking through.
And I'm curious, you on the last line, you talk about being brutally honest with yourself. And that's something that I think speaks to probably a lot of people in the audience and just in general, folks that are kind of starting your own business, is that like starting and taking that first step requires a level of like self or like introspection and self-awareness to just be honest about where you are and what you need to take next. But what does that look like for you?
Yeah, I mean, like brutally honest is like, let's not sugarcoat it. Let's get deeper. Stacy talked about the why. Let's get deeper into the why, because the reality, like even, and this is why, like my whole, we can call it brand or whatever, really my mission and purpose is, again, navigating people to just get started. Like sales coaching for early stage B2B founders is one aspect of that. Like, it's not who I am, because there's a lot of ways I can help people and a lot of ways people need help. but it's more than like even sales. Like it's more than selling a product. Like Jay was talking about with, not liking sales. Well, that's just because a lot of that was probably part of how he grew up, or maybe how he was in certain jobs. Like he has to overcome that and realize that he has an offer. He has things that he can help people with. Same with Stacy, right? Leaving from an education side, going to copywriting. Like there's a stigma we have in our minds of like, wait, can I do this? And we lose confidence and lose trust in ourselves. And those are the type of things that are really important to dig deeper. And like, why are we even doing what we're doing? That ultimately leads us to maybe the products we want to do, who we want to serve, like what our audience wants to be. If we never sit with that, though, we're kind of just doing, oh, this looks good because someone on TikTok did it. Okay, but you're going to get bored after, right? Jay can speak to this, right? Jay, didn't you hate your prior job, like your consulting business, because you built it, you didn't build it the way you wanted to, or it kind of got off
13 years,
that, right? Yep. Yeah. So anyways, I think it's important just to know where we want to start by sitting with it and thinking about it.
No, that's awesome. And I think it's looking at all of your answers, it's really hard to pick which one I'm going to give points to and how to give points for these. I feel like, which one do you guys think did the like concept of the game best in terms of like both rhyming, using the word? I want to give you guys equal points, but.
Well, I really like, no shade on Jay, but I really like Stacy's. Obviously she used the word in there. So kudos to her. I thought she did a great job with it.
Yeah, so do I. I think Stacy, I think you're going to win this particular activity for both baking in the word cookie, pun very intended, and then also actually like following the poem structure. So I think Stacy, you get 1,000 points for this activity, but everybody else also gets points because I think you all did wonderful for this one. So 2,000 points for Jay in total, and then we'll make it 2,000 points for Brian as well. So thank you guys for putting this much effort into this one. Sorry, say that again?
I went from the negatives to being in the lead. I'm just going to savor in that for a minute.
Yeah, I guess that's the last activity. So you're actually officially the winner, Stacy. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, that's actually officially the final game of the game show. So what we'll do now is I'd like to have each of you obviously give your impressions. What did you think of the game show? Did you have fun? What did you think of the activities?
It's definitely a much needed reprieve from my typical Fridays, which are all about they're carved out for deep work, and what that really translates to is me rushing to finish all the stuff that I didn't get to for my own business. So I told Stacy when she shared this game with us, I was like, I'm not even going to allow my brain to process, should I do this? I'm just going to say yes, which I never do. So okay. I appreciate you hosting it. I appreciate Stacy bringing us to you.
I appreciate you taking the chance on playing the game show in the first place.
Yeah, this is a lot of fun. This is obviously a different take on, podcasting and what have you. So, I think it's a novel idea. It's fun, and the time goes by quick. But I think having people, whether Stacy and Jay, we know each other a little bit, but like even if you had 3 people that didn't know each other, like I wonder how that would be. But I think it's fun. It looks like just kind of back and forth. You kind of needle each other a little bit. You learn about each other. You get some insight out of it. All positive.
Well, and I think it was a fun way to think about just like even that poem, right? That's what I do for a living, is help people think about what is the simplest, most concise, easiest way you can say something. But like in activity like this, challenge me to even think about like, okay, how can I just quickly rhyme and throw it down there? So I loved it. I thought it was really fun.
And one thing I really appreciated about this episode for the audience is that all of these folks that you see on the call here, like I mentioned early on, they work in B2B in some capacity. And as they mentioned during the game show, they actually all complement each other's work in some way. So I was really excited to have you all on because there's different perspectives of what it means to serve other businesses and their needs that you guys all brought to the table. So I'm really happy that it went well and that you guys all had fun in doing this. So thank you all for participating again.
Thanks, David.
Yeah, so I guess to close out the show, like I mentioned, the the way that we usually typically wrap things up is to have everybody on the show give a sense of what you're working on or something you'd like to highlight. It doesn't necessarily have to be a professional thing. If you want to talk about a personal thing as well, this is your spotlight, so you get to do whatever you want with it. So Brian, we'll start with you. You get a minute. So what do you want to highlight that's going on in your life?
Oh my gosh. I'll keep it just professional. Just two things I'm excited about. So one, this sales coaching business called Sales Skills for Founders that's under the Just Get Started umbrella. And people can subscribe to I was almost going to say Just Get Started podcast, which I'll talk about next. But Sales Skills for Founders is a newsletter I've been building all year. And I basically coach, early stage B2B founders how to the skills and systems to sell, and really talking about that human element and the importance of that in your entire sales process. So that's something I'm super excited about. And then the Just Get Started podcast I've been doing for 7.5 years, and I've had Jay and Stacy on, and almost 500 episodes, and really excited about rebooting that. I'm taking the summer off because I'm going on a trip to Europe with my son. I'm getting married at the end of the summer, so I'm really excited about relaunching the Just Get Started podcast. So I'm taking a little summer break, and then we're back full throttle with a little different format, and super energized and excited for it.
Nice. Well, I'm excited to see it come back whenever you do put it back on.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.
Cool. Jay?
Yeah, and I'll plug Brian. His sales coaching is great. He did like one micro coaching session with me, and I wound up selling 2 people after that on literally the same thing that I've been trying to sell that I was having so results with. I sent him a video of one of my sales calls, and he gave me really super actionable feedback, and it helped. And I think about it on every sales call since. So it's super.
Hey, thank you for that. And David, you can clip that, right, and send that to me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There you go. So okay. I'd love to have something more personal to talk about. I'm in a season where I'm just working my ass off right now, so it feels like all of life is about business right now. But it's exciting. I've run this masterclass called the Offer Development Masterclass since January. I've done it for 6 months, and I'm at the stage where I'm going to start to package it into an on-demand version. And there's like a whole evolution to the first set of teaching that I did inside of it. So it's like a major stepping stone in my business's evolution that I'm super excited about. So that thing launches in September. And right now I'm like a mad scientist behind the scenes, packaging everything up into those next versions of that offer.
So that explains all the work that's going on, but it's really also exciting to hear that that's coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. And it's cool because I'm building offers, which is what I teach. So when I launch it, I'll have even like I like to like open up the playbook just to show how I'm doing what I'm doing, which teaches at a meta level. So I plan to do a couple webinars and things like that, and that's when I hopefully plan to come back to Stacy and Brian and say I'm ready to do something together.
Awesome. Well, thank you for sharing that, Jay. So, Stacy, you're certainly not least, but the last one. You're our winner. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
So you get 3 uninterrupted minutes to talk about whatever you want. Again, so it can be personal, it can be professional. You can do both. You have 3 whole minutes to talk about whatever you want. So, floor is yours.
All right, that's a lot of time. Well, let me start off first by plugging Jay's offer, because I did take his course, and I know he's made some iterations and changes since then. That was super helpful. Very appreciative of that. And so definitely people should keep an eye out for that. And I'm still too chicken shit to let Brian roast my calls yet, but it's coming. I'm going to do it at some point. But for me, what I've really been excited about is I'm sort of the same thing as Jay. I'm in a busy season right now. I love doing my one-to-one client work and really doing positioning and messaging strategy for brands, but also looking to do some more scalable offers to grow my business as well. And so one of the recent things I mentioned earlier that I've launched is Content Circle, which we actually opened 41 minutes ago. We actually opened enrollment to the public through Tuesday. And so I'm super excited about that. And the goal of that is to help really anybody who writes content create content that actually connects and converts with their customers. I know too many people just spend time spinning their wheels thinking about what am I going to write on LinkedIn? They overthink it, or they get lots of engagement, but that's not actually turning into traction for them. And so really excited that we have a membership. I'm in partnership with Wendy Shore, and we are able to help people strategically align their content with their business goals. We have some really cool guest experts coming in to lead workshops. So I'm really working hard on getting that off the ground. Part of the motivation for that is just really big goal for me is traveling. I'm going to actually be traveling like 3 out of 4 weeks in September. I'll be in Germany for 2 of those weeks. And so, yeah, just excited to have some other diversification of how I'm helping people. And then the other thing that I'm excited about is hosting more workshops and doing some speaking engagements. My background in education, I really am working to leverage that. I have a lot of experience with facilitating training and doing speaking. And so bringing that into my business as well as a way to just kind of bring more people into my orbit. So super excited to continue doing the one-to-one work and start to build these other things in. And like Jay mentioned, Brian and Jay and I have talked about doing collaborations. I love doing that in my business, and I'm always open to other opportunities for that.
That's really exciting to hear, and thank you, Stacy, for sharing that. It seems like there's a lot going on for all of you, and it's really amazing.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Awesome. So that brings us to the end of the episode for today. So a couple reminders for the audience out there. As you're watching this, obviously, please like and subscribe both the YouTube video, and if you see this on LinkedIn, please engage with it as well. We are always looking for more contestants, so if you're interested in participating, please, shoot us a note if you'd like to participate. We'll take participants from any sort of professional walk of life, and whatever you do, we always champion people's interests and passions here in the game show. So would love to have you on. And more specifically on the work that we do at Superposition, if you'd like to learn how to build workshops just like this one for your own work, especially if you're in the consultancy space, and particularly in the data or AI consultancy space, hit us up. We're always really excited to build collaborative and fun settings just like this one for professional settings. So we'd love to discuss more. With that, Brian, Jay, Stacy, really loved having you on. Thank you all again for taking the time to be on the show, and really excited to see what you guys got coming up in the next few months.